Hi guys, so this is Mera from Coriander Lions. This is a VR. I'm just sitting down to do this VR for to Meg over at Rose Honey Ritual. This is also a first impressions of the Squid Cake Marseille. This is very much a Tarot with Ruby made me do it because I was watching her anti-haul and I saw this deck and there's a plane going by. I don't know if you guys can hear that, so I'm going to give that just a quick second. Okay, I think he's going. So this was part of her anti-haul, and she's not a Marseille fan, and that's totally okay. You know, to each his own. But I saw, and I haven't even. I've had this deck like 4 days, and I haven't even got. I literally pulled the plastic off, and then I didn't even fully open the deck yet. So I did a little bit of searching and I found it. And if anybody was born in the 90s, they would very much remember Doug. And I saw a couple of the pictures. Oh my gosh. I hate plastic so much. There we go. But I saw a couple of the pictures and I'm like, oh my God, they modeled the art style after Doug. At least that's what I thought. But the box is beautiful. So there is some like really pretty, I mean, it's a sturdy box. And then there is engage your creativity and be inspired to think outside the box. And I think that is beautiful. But I know everybody has done like a whole walkthrough of this, so I'm not really going to go too much in depth. But I love the fact that it has the back of the book is also, oh my gosh, it's color coded. I haven't gotten very far in this. I haven't really looked at it either. But I love the way it's set up because you've got apparently pink for the majors, green for the minors, and one of the things that I loved is that it has in the book, it has a picture of the deck, and you can also find this on Amazon. I will link it down below. It is not going to be an affiliate link because I don't have that option. So it's just going to be a link where you can go purchase this deck without any affiliateness with it. But it has a picture of the card and then it has keywords, but then it also has a whole spiel on the other side, which I love. I do like the way that this wasn't a straight up, basic Lo Scarabeo deck book. But I saw the fact that it had the keywords at the bottom, just like, so this is the Four of Swords. So the keywords are restrictions, limitations, outgrowing. And it's for every single one. So like this one, the world card, apparently the majors have an extra, which is function at the bottom. This is arrives. So apparently the majors in this book also have something called a function. But yeah, I'm not going to get too much into like the book and stuff because everybody else, apparently a lot of people have got this deck. And have like really gone through some in-depth. I know Martin over at Martin's Musings. I believe even Lisa Pepez has gotten in on this. I think I want to say it's her hot takes or what's upcoming, something like that. I want to call it hot takes, but I might be incorrect. But anyway, this is totally supposed to be more of a Marseille pairing, which is the reason I decided to throw this deck into this particular video because this is my new Marseille. So I already tried to film this video once, but I found absolutely none of my decks were aesthetically pleasing to go along with my classic Marseille, which I also purchased from Amazon. So it's just a basic blue back. It's really scuffed up. I've had this thing, oh gosh, 6-7 months maybe. No, maybe not. No, I think I got this right before the end of the year. So I haven't had it that long and it's really scuffed up, but it's a good deck. It shuffles awesomely. And now I have something to pair it with. But I'm hoping beyond hope that one of my Oracle decks will pair better with this particular Marseille. We're going to start with these. So We start with the Magician instead of the Fool, which is okay with me. But like I said, I love the art style on this. And given that it's Marseille, I'm going to do this one. I'm just going to pop this up here because I want to see. Oh my gosh, it has ghouls. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I love that. So they got to, okay, so we're a little bit sticky. So that's okay. But you can kind of hear the fact that they slide together pretty good. But it has little ghosties in the Two of Cups. I love that. But aesthetically, I do like this because you've got black, reds, yellows, blues, and then you have pastels. And I actually really, really, really like how these two are going to pair together. So we have, now it's not going to be perfect. I mean, I don't expect anything to be perfect as far as like pairing two very different Marseilles together. But actually, that doesn't look too bad. It's actually really interesting. So I am totally a Marseille interest person. So this was very much of an interest to me. And I like the way that I love the art style in this. So as you can see, so this is a class, actually. I'm going to go ahead and just pull the 3 of coins off the bottom here and just like give you, hoping I'm not too blurry or too shiny. There we go. So as you can see, they are very different art style, but I already love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move this Marseille out of the way. Like I said, this is very much more of a pairing Marseille and kind of just giving my overall thoughts. I absolutely adore my Marseille, my one Marseille deck. It is very much my workhorse. It is the one that I use for almost all of my readings exclusively. Oh, I love the Page of Cups. It looks very Doug-esque, but it also kind of looks, he kind of looks like a zombie, which I kind of appreciate, which is pretty cool. So we're just going to give this a really solid shuffle. I haven't used this Oracle in a while, and I want to make sure it's kind of shuffled up a little bit before okay. So far it's not terrible. I think aesthetically they will totally work together. Like I said, it's not perfect, but as far as aesthetics goes, I think it'll work. But yeah, I definitely very much, oh, I like that. The colors. So we have Decision along with the Hierophant and the Ace of Swords. Interesting. I like that. So, oh, the Lovers, very Marseille. I do appreciate. I will say one thing that they didn't keep with is the fact that I'm going to hunt this down real quick, because that is one thing I kind of do not, that's one thing that I found out early on. I want to say it was from Astro Lady Tarot, when she was going through some of the classic Marseille. It is not called the lovers, plural. It is called the lover. He has to choose between 2 different women. Right now, that's totally my only beef with this deck, is that in the classic Marseille, it's lover, singular. This one is plural, and it follows, I'm seeing classic Marseille style in the art, but the title is totally Rider-Waite-Smith. So that, I will say, is probably going to be, from what I'm seeing, my only beef. I do love the pastel colors. I love the way we kept very much to classic Marseille. Look at that. We changed the colors. We went from, flowers to berries. I do like that. I am okay with the change like that. I'm totally okay with the change like that. But like I said, probably my only beef is going to be Oh, there we go. My only beef is really going to be the fact that they changed that one singular card. Justice is, of course, 8, which I'm very glad. And they also did not change the numbering of the 6 through 9 cards. So they totally fell in with the Marseille style, which I appreciate. So again, my only beef is going to be the fact that the levers is not singular like it should be. I'm totally going to get over that. But yeah, in the classic Marseille, they did keep with the 4 lines for 9. They did, yeah. So I do very much. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune, the 3 of Swords, and Transformation. That's pretty cool. But yeah, they're a little bit sticky, which doesn't surprise me. Like I said, I literally just opened this deck. So, all right. So, love the Strength card. So instead of a lion, we have a. Oh gosh, I know what this plant is, but you think I could remember it? Venus flytrap. Okay. I'm very much wondering if they chose that plant on purpose, other than the fact that it is a Venus flytrap, because they're going to have teeth. I'm totally going to look into that. And actually, I have the guidebook right next to me. So let's go ahead and pop up the Strength card. Oh, and they have La Force, which is the Italian for that. That's pretty cool. So this is the keywords: confidence, strength, courage, function, handles. Oh, this does not have a, oh, these don't have the visually like the minors do, probably because they're fully integrated, they're fully, yeah. So the strength says, as scary as it can be, sometimes you need to just roll up your sleeves and dive in despite the fear. It takes a lot of courage to handle difficult situations and tackle issues that you would much rather avoid. Strength is that little voice in your head cheering you on by saying, you can do this, you can do hard things. When this card shows up in a reading, it's urging you to do the difficult things you don't think you're capable of because it knows you can handle it. Okay, so I've got the Ace of Swords. So I'm also curious. Mostly I'm just looking at visually. So visually, this particular card says, you are being handed a very large sword adorned with a crown and cut branches. Sweet victory. The cut branches can be seen as literally cutting something away, or even cutting a cord that may wish to keep you in place or want to hold you back. Either way, what you do with this sword is your choice. Oh my gosh, I love her interpretations of the minors already, and I've only read one. But the keywords, fresh thoughts, victory, rational mind. Oh my gosh, I will definitely be finding much use out of the guidebook as well. So let's go ahead and get to some minors a little bit here. So I want to double up on some minors. Ooh, so we have truth with the 5 of swords and the ace of batons. Oh yeah, I think visually even these 2 decks are really going to be like it for sure. So the 6 of swords, the 2 of batons, and passion. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the, so we have cups next. Okay, so that's how they lay this one out. Okay, so what do we have? Let's go ahead and get into, okay, there we go, page, that'll work. So we have the Ace of Cups, we have Journey, and we have Page of Swords. Yeah, aesthetically, I think these decks are very, oh my god, she's riding a chicken. Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. Oh yeah. I cannot wait to really look through these cards, and I'm so curious what the rest of the, if they're all riding chickens. So, oh no, this knight is, so the Knight of Coins is riding a frog. Oh my gosh, I love that. And I love the fact that the Queen of Coins is sitting in this very comfy chair. And the King of Coins is sitting on a little ottoman stool. Oh my gosh, I wish that she, and I don't think she did. So I have the Ace of Coins. Let me pull up the King. So no, visually, nothing for that either. So like the King of Swords is sitting on what looks to be a three-legged stool. Direct, ruthless, disciplined. The fact, I always think of like Full Metal Alchemist when I think of like a three-legged stool where he had to like evenly distribute his weight to be able to keep the stool and him from toppling over. That I think really sits very well for the King of Swords because he has to be very even in his thought process and be very aware of not only his thought process but his body. So I think even that, I mean, I'm not seeing, like I said, there's nothing visually because it's a court card, but that's okay because just seeing this, it kind of gives me something else that my classic Marseille isn't. So okay, here we go. So cool. So this is the King of Swords, or I'm sorry, Wands. This is the King of Wands because he's got a baton. So even here, like he's sitting on a stool, like he's sitting on a throne or a chair or something, but it's entirely different to say this king, and this king. I know they're not even the same suit, but that's okay because it makes it kind of gives you that different look. Oh, you know what? So that's why, well, I have this out actually. So we're going to do that. And we're also, this is probably not going to make any kind of sense, but that's okay. So I'm so curious. Oh, okay. So the death card, very similar. I like the fact that he's actually, okay, so he even is standing on her head here as he is here. And this one has a crown, just like that one. And then there's like a couple random hands, but I do like how they kept with that. I also just realized that she is, in the temperance card, she is playing with coffee. Like it's not water, it's coffee. And that's still very much a temperance. I would think it would be wine in the Marseille deck, or at least it should be. But I think it's blue, like water. So I love the fact that they use coffee. I love this devil card. This is a fun devil card. That's a lot, in my opinion, that's also a lot less scary and I guess family friendly even. Like there's family friendly. Yes, very much family friendly. So if I were to do a reading, I love, like I said, my Marseille is my workhorse deck. But this deck is kind of terrifying for kids and there's the devil card. So I wouldn't want to pull this deck up and this card come up for a little one, like a little one. So the fact that this is our big scary devil card in this Marseille, I'm very much okay with that because this is one that I don't have to temper the fear of, oh my gosh, I have to pick and choose the sorts of people I use my workhorse deck for because I already know Marseille. I love Marseille. I love me, my workhorse deck. I love this deck. But now I have something that I don't have to worry if I get somebody that's 60 or that's 6 or that's, 35. I don't have to worry because this deck is very, very family friendly. And I mean, even her, like the start card is covered, like in the Marseille, she's very much all out there. So I do really appreciate that. Oh my gosh. And reminds me of the Teletubbies. The moon card has a face in the moon, and I love that. That is so cool. So we have the sun card, and then the judgment card, and the world card. And then we go, oh, there's the fool. Okay. Oh, he's fun. I love the fact that we have like random tentacles throughout some of these cards. But yeah, super basic. And then here's the Knight of Batons, which means I have the king in here as well. So he's sitting on a stump and he's holding a stick. I like that. But yeah, so all of the knights apparently each got their own critter to sit on, and I like that. So I'm probably very much rambling. This probably isn't gonna make much sense, but that's okay. But where I left off was oh shoot. 6. There we go. I still want to go through this deck thoroughly, so I'm trying to keep it in as much order as I can. So, oops. And then I just throw page knight. There we go. So we kind of come back here. So flip. So yeah, wisdom, the Knight of Swords, and the Three of Cups. You know, these I have to say are pretty aesthetic, and the backs look like not super great, but that's okay because the backs don't really matter. It's more what matters on the front of the card. So I've got some blues here, some blues here, some blues here. So that you could totally pull something off of that very easily. Healings, you got some pinks, some cups, some swords. That's really, I mean, you can totally play with color, I think, and with these two decks for sure. So we have some intuition, the Five of Cups, the King of Swords. So as far as aesthetic decks go, these two I think are going to be very much a total yes from me. But yeah, definitely if you want like a full walkthrough and a full look at these decks, there is a ton of people that have done so. Oh, an emotion. So yeah, even like the now card, like some blues, some greens, stuff like that. But yeah, there's a ton of people that have done like full walkthroughs. But I was, like I said, I've already tried to do this, and none of my decks went with my Marseille. Like none of my decks. I don't have a lot, but none of them were aesthetically pleasing to go along with that Marseille. And that's fine because I'm usually using my Fountain Tarot along with my Marseille just for the like the readings itself. I like using this as kind of like a clarifier with my Marseille sometimes. I don't think these would very much go together, but that's okay because these kind of go together, but that's totally for another day, and that's totally okay. But yeah, aesthetically, so glad I bought this, and it's so small. It's so okay. So I will say one of my favorite things is how small the deck is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab a couple extra cards here, and I'm just gonna like, for me, shuffling is, I have small hands anyway, but the fact that I can just like basically bend this deck without trying to, so it's pretty bendy, which is nice. The cards are, it's pretty bendy cardstock. And of course, there's my dog with destroying her toys while I'm trying to record. It's okay. But yeah, it's gonna give me a really good shuffle. Oh, I already did scrape one of the edges. That's okay. My other deck looks awful, but yeah, and I love the fact that they come with pink edges. Usually not very much a pink person, but I don't care because this deck is phenomenal. And I will say that somebody definitely was a 90s kid and decided that they wanted to make a deck that looked just like Doug on like a whole big scale, because I enjoy this deck. But yeah, totally a new favorite, and I love the fact that this is going to go so well with this deck. But aesthetically pleasing, yes. Oh, and I know I didn't mention, but this is When My Soul Whispered. This is one of my few Oracle decks. But thank you guys for letting me rant to you about my Marseille decks and my new Marseille squid cake. Oh, all right. Thanks, guys. Hi, guys. So, this is just slightly editing Mera, kind of stepping in real quick. I just finished up the other video that I was doing, and I realized that I didn't do an interview spread with my squid cake tarot, my Marseille. And I felt like I was going to jip you guys if I didn't go ahead and do the interview spread. So as you probably already know, I like the interview spread done by Tarot with Ruby. She is phenomenal. It's very short. It's 4 cards. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a really good shuffle. I don't expect it to go very well just because these are very small cards and my hands are very small, and the deck does not bend very well. So we're going to see. Oh, way better than I thought it was gonna. It's still kind of clumpy, but that's okay. That's actually really okay. But what's nice is I can hold the entire deck in one hand and overhand shuffle like a freaking dream. Oh, I like that. Oh, this is gonna be my travel deck. Oh, I've been trying to find a small deck to travel that I can just throw in my bag, and I think I just found it. This is totally gonna be my travel deck. Oh, I'm so happy because my other Marseille, as you probably saw, because I'm tacking this on to the end of that video, it's very chunky boy. Now this deck is chunky, but it's small, which means it's perfect travel size. Oh, I'm so thrilled. Okay, but not the whole point that I'm doing here. And I've just been rambling on about the Lover's Tarot for the last like 50 minutes. So we're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to it. So this is the interview spread. I've probably already stated this a couple times, but it's done by Tarot with Ruby. It is 4 cards. 4 cards, that's it. And it gives a really fantastic overview of the deck. I have actually gotten rid of multiple decks because the cards that I pulled in the interview spread made me just say, nope, this deck isn't for me. I got a small tin version of the Aquarian. I want to say I don't think it was the Aquarian. Actually, I have my book right here. It was Morgan Greer, and I sent it back because I did not vibe with the cards that I got from the deck interview spread. Was not vibing with that deck. I sent it on its way. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's start with the deck's energy. What card can we assume? What card kind of represents the deck's energy? Okay, I'll make sure that's upside right. Okay, so the next is favorite types of readings. Favorite types of readings. Always a fun one. I like that one. I do love how small these cards are to make travel reading so nice. I've always wanted something, Marseille style that was small, and I've tried a couple other ones that I did not enjoy. Like the Tempest Tarot, I did not enjoy. Totally getting off topic. So this is strengths of the deck. Strengths as the deck, what have you. Whichever wording you would like to use. All right, so deck strengths. Okay, deck strengths and deck weaknesses. That one. Okay. So I think what we're going to start with is the strengths and weaknesses. Ooh. So strengths came up as the Queen of Cups, and our weaknesses actually ended up being justice. So the first thing I think of when I see this justice card is not being able to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Not to be biased, which is so weird. But that's the first thing I think of, or when I thought of when I saw this justice card. So the strength is very much this, I get nurturing because it's the Queen of Cups. That's very much what I get with this. So it's very nurturing. It's going to be more of a deck that kind of maybe looks at, you know, saying, oh, honey, it's okay. He was totally wrong. He was totally out of line. Let me cuddle you and make you feel better. That's what I would get with that. That's kind of what I'm seeing with that. So overall energy is the 7 of Coins. So the first thing I think of when I see this particular card, balance actually, but we're not quite in balance either, and that's kind of where that Justice card falls in. It's, I think we're skewed one way or the other. So pure curiosity, let's pull up that 7 of Coins, just going to be in the back to 7. So the keywords, oh gosh, acquisition, positive reception, integration. So unlike with the 5, where some pressure was felt, the 7 of Coins is an invitation to bring in something new and find a way to integrate it into what you're already doing. This can be taking on a new employee, adding a new product to your online shop, or even bringing home a new ingredient to cook with. Whatever it is, it's asking to be accepted and wants to find a place with the promise to help you. Oh, now see, that is the kind of energy that I love. It's acceptance. That's very much what this is telling me. It's just, it's a will to be accepted. That's very much what I'm getting. And I love her interpretations of the Marseille. This is another book that is going to be super duper important in helping me expand on my interpretations. This is going to be a super, super useful book. So I'm also going to open it up to the Justice card because that feels like it should also be an important one, because it is seen as more of like, right now it's in the negative, like the weaknesses. So fairness, honesty, rationality, and then function, decides. Justice is fair, swift, and rational when it comes to handling most situations, but not always. Sometimes justice can be off balance and cruel. To be fair, you need to have an open mind and a willingness to hear both sides before coming to a decision, rather than jumping to conclusions. You've been asked to make a decision based on truth, even if that truth stings a bit. When this card shows up in a reading, it's inviting you to be rational and look at cold, hard facts, not just opinions and stories in passing. So I feel like this deck is saying it's going to have a hard time with that. It's going to have a hard time looking at facts, not just opinions. And that might be a deal breaker for me as far as this deck goes. I'm kind of sad about that. But I'm gonna work with it. We're gonna see if things change. But it feels more like given the Queen of Cups here in this strength, it just kind of feel like, oh, he was such an idiot. What was he thinking? Let me love you and let me make you feel better. That's kind of what I get with this. It's not so much a lifetime of like, oh my gosh, he was so wrong. Don't listen to him. But it's also a kind of just comfort. That's really what I'm getting with this, is comfort. So we have the favorite readings. We have the 3 of Cups. So let's, I already know what that Queen of Cups is saying, so I'm curious about the 3. Creation, connection, and birth. Something out of love is pouring from the 2 cups, which have now become 3. The 3rd cup can be seen as the birth of a child, both figuratively and metaphorically. The 3 of Cups can even symbolize a friendship that's turning romantic, as emotions are starting to form and come to the surface. It's time to mature and really throw some love into what you are doing. So this feels very much like a love and, again, comfort. That's really what I'm getting with this, is nurturing, something like that. So this does feel more like a love, self-love, you know, bettering self kind of deck. I'm hoping that eventually it might be able to fit in as just like a workhorse across the board ability. But the fact that I have 2 cups here for readings and for strengths, that might kind of skew my ability a little bit, but I'm kind of okay with that. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing me do the deck interview spread kind of in action. This is why I really like really good guidebooks, because it's not just kind of like a Lo Scarabeo where it's just super basic. This is very much a interpretation by the creator. This is, in my opinion, very well done representations of the Marseille, and I really appreciate the fact that she put so much time and effort and energy into not only this deck, but into the way she did the guidebook. I so appreciate. But thank you guys again for checking this video out. I have no doubt it was also equally very rambly. But have a fantastic night. Bye, guys.